We're moving on today in Isaiah chapter 6 with verse 2. Yesterday we read verse 1, in which the prophet Isaiah sees a vision of the Lord seated on a throne in an oikos, a building full of his glory. And today in verse 2 we're going to see what else was in that building, namely some supernatural beings. So let's begin by reading the verse together in Greek. Kai seraphin estekesan kuklo autu, hex pteroges toheni, kai hex pteroges toheni, kai tais medusin katekalypton ta prosopon, kai tais dusin katekalypton tas podas, kai tais dusin epetanta. We could translate this verse as follows. And seraphim stood around him. 6 wings belonged to one, and 6 wings belonged to one, or we could translate another. And with 2 they were covering the face, and with 2 they were covering the feet, and with 2 they were flying. And on all 3 cases we have this numeral 2 referring to 2 of the 6 wings apiece. Let's have a look at this verb here, estekesan, which we can see in footnote 9 comes from histemi. Now histemi, when it is intransitive, meaning having no direct object, it is often used in the perfect tense form to convey a present time event. But when you want to convey a past time, simple past event, the form actually is pluperfect, like we see here in this verse. And that's why we translated this as the seraphim stood around him. Now notice here that following word, kuklo, in number 10 comes from kuklo. This really is derived from the adjective kuklos, meaning around, but it becomes sort of a frozen form in the dative here and is used often as a preposition taking a genitive object. It's also worth noting these 3 verbs here towards the end of the verse. All 3 of these verbs, 2 of which are the same, katekalypton and katekalypton, as we can see down here in the footnote, they are imperfect verbs, petomai and katekalypto. And this is just a good opportunity to remind ourselves that the imperfect tense form conveys imperfective aspect, a kind of action that is ongoing and incomplete. And so that is how we translated them. With 2, that is 2 wings, they were covering the face. And with 2 wings, they were covering the feet. And with 2, they were flying.